Hey reader friends, it's Mrs. Palin, the librarian, with today's book review. So I got my hands on Gary Paulsen's latest called Gone to the Woods. You may be familiar with Gary Paulsen. A long time ago, he wrote a book called Hatchet. He's written sequels to it, prequels to it, amazing survival stories. I thought this was going to be like that, but it wasn't. This was his autobiographical novel about his life. So it is categorized as a biography, autobiography, but it read exactly like a novel because he referred to himself throughout the book as the boy or he. I adored it. I absolutely adored it. His writing is brilliant anyway, but I loved this. Now I will caution you, I teach in a K-5, like kindergarten through 5th grade, and I run a library for those grades. I don't think I'll carry this as much as I want to. It was a little mature. His life was not easy, to say the very least. He was neglected. His parents were drinkers, fighters. His mom found her way when his dad was away at war any way she could. Very promiscuous. The language in it, they have words that I wouldn't want my 5th grader reading. So as much as I adored it, I'm going to hold off. But for those of you who have a middle grade library, this is absolutely perfect. He starts when he's 5 talking about his life with his mom. And then his mom, his grandmother actually, takes him away and ships him to an aunt who, I wish the whole book had been about his time with his aunt and uncle in the woods. The responsibility they gave him, the love that they gave him, the stability and safety that they gave him was such a welcome few chapters in this book that I just felt happy for the boy for the first time in the whole book. And then the mother comes back and takes him away, brings him to Manila, the Philippines, where he is to meet his father, and horrible life in the Philippines, although he has fond memories of it, not easy. And then he comes back to the United States, where he lives with his parents, but doesn't really live with his parents. He keeps running away. It is so sad and so tragic and so heartbreaking. But you know because it's not a biography, and you know he became a famous writer, you know it turns out well, but to hear what he went through as a child is just heartbreaking. I loved it. I loved his courage in putting it all down to paper now that he's 80 years old. I thank him for that. It must have been insanely difficult. Read it. It is amazing, but if you're middle school or above, read it. Otherwise, I would caution any parents letting their kids read this. It's a little much. I loved it. Gary Paulsen's autobiography called Gone to the Woods. Keep reading. See you soon.